Just his take on things. He was always very engaged. He was really a very generous spirit when he was with people, when he met people. Was always very incisive and very insightful what was going on, around us, and if he could find humor in it, he usually did.
I remember the first class I went to, I was kind of mesmerized by this slight figure, the shocking silver hair, and just absolutely kind of alive in his presentation. It was like watching a dance performance. And he had just this great laugh that I can hear him after openings back at my house, sitting around the kitchen table and hearing his laugh above all the other laughter.
He would open things up and make it interesting. I really didn't have that much interest in art history until I started taking his classes. He makes it exciting. He makes it like it's this whole world, exciting world inside of art history, where before I was just pretty bored with it. And it actually changed my paintings. He always had a schedule, and he never drove. He believed that driving made you stupid, so he just never drove. He would walk pretty much everywhere, and his whole world existed like pretty much, VCU. He lived up in the fan, he could walk to work. He had a studio just down from VCU on Broad Street, and he could, make his whole rounds without having to get in the car, really. He was just a magnificent individual, and I learned as much about life from him as I did art.
He, I think above all, sort of prided himself as someone who pays attention. And he paid attention to things that most of us dismiss or overlook or ignore.
I mean, none of his work was ever made with the direct intention of selling it, so that it was all of just this really intense process, strict discipline in terms of going to the studio and working out intellectual ideas.
He always had to find a medium that suited what his ideas were at the time.
He made work that he, had to make, that he was compelled to do. And I think the shows that he's had in Richmond have really been inspiring to artists and to collectors in terms of the depth and the intensity of how he sees the world and how his work evolves.